there, Stampers. This is Lisa with Queen Bee Creations. Today we're going to be working on this adorable little fun fold card with a little tuck in the corner. And I'm doing that using a new stamp set. I don't know if you guys have seen this one yet, but this is a new Celebration release that you can get as a level 2 reward with a qualifying order. And today we're going to play around with it. Let me pull you down to my workspace and I'll show you what we're doing. This is our card, and it's got this little fun fold, but when you close it, it actually tucks underneath this little circle, and the circle keeps it closed. I got this idea from a fellow demonstrator who sent me this card for my birthday. And it's the same kind of idea, and I thought that's super cute. I bet I can do that with some new stamps. And so this new Rise and Shine bundle is what I'm using today. Again, this is a free item as a level 2 reward. Hopefully you guys are out there enjoying Celebration and you've got lots of fun goodies. It's my favorite time of year. For today's card, what I needed to do was cut a card base, and I actually started with an 8.5 by 5.5, and then I just putting this at 2 1/4 on my thing and then cutting this off. So my little fold over is 2 1/4, which means what I cut off was about 2 inches. Then I have my 5 1/4 by 4. This will go on the inside. And then for my little flap to fold over, this is 3.5 by 3.5. And then because I'm folding it over 1/2 inch, these pieces are 2 3/4 by 3 1/4. So this one is 2.5 by 3. I'm using our handy dandy little grid paper down here. Hopefully you guys have found this in our Stampin' Up catalog. I absolutely love it. It not only protects your work surface and allows you to do second generation stamping, but it's also got the little measurements, an area for your wish list. It's great stuff. So this piece is 2 by 5 1/4. So this is 1 3/4 by 5. So we can start this up by starting to layer up what's going on the outside. And this is our Bird Ballad Designer Series paper. I know as the spring catalog comes out and we get all into Celebration, we kind of forget about all the wonderful stuff that's still back there in our annual catalog. Just because the spring catalog came out doesn't mean I'm not still excited about the Bird Ballad Designer Series paper, especially since I'm working on a Rise and Shine kind of thing. I thought the little birdies in here were a perfect touch. And because all of our Designer Series paper is double-sided, I was able to use both sides of it for a double matting. And I chose my card base in Pool Party based on the colors that are in this Designer Series paper. All of our Designer Series papers come in the Stampin' Up colors, and it makes it really easy to coordinate. For the inside of the card, I've got 2 sentiments lined up on this one. And so I'm going to stamp those in soft suede. Again, another color out of our Designer Series paper. And you'll notice I'm stamping onto this black mat under here. This is just a piece of fun foam that I picked up in the kids department at a big box store, but it gives a little bit of cushion underneath, so when I am stamping with the photopolymer stamps, I get a little better imprint. And of course I can come over here and I can rub on my Stampin' Scrub, but because these are photopolymer, I have a little bit of residue left over. They're still kind of pink. And so that's when I bring in my stamp cleaning pad. And I just rub this on here, and it's going to take off some of that pink. So now I just take this over to the sink, rinse it off, and it's ready to put back. For the outside of the card, I'm going to stamp the coffee cup on this little piece. And I chose to use the one with the little flowers in it. So I'm going to do that in Pool Party. Now when I went to stamp the little steam that comes out of the top, I can't really line it up and have it fit. And so in order to fix that problem, what I did is I brought in a Post-it note and I'm going to lay it over my coffee cup. This is called masking. And what that's going to do is it's going to allow me to come in with my soft suede and stamp the steam coming out like I want, keep it on my layer, and then the excess stamps on the Post-it note. So when I pull it off, my steam is even and fits within my little parameters. I have one more thing to stamp. I wanted to put the sentiment on the outside, rise and shine. And I'm going to do that with Pool Party ink. And then I'm going to punch that out with my 1-inch circle punch. I always stamp before punching because if I look from the back, it's really easy to line up and make sure that I am centered within. If you want to go over and subscribe to my YouTube channel, that's a great way to make sure you don't miss anything as well. Okay, then I'm going to take this punch. This is 1 3/8, and I'm just going to cut out a little piece in Pool Party. Then I will mat under this. So now I'm all done with my stamping. Now in order to make the little flap, what I need to do is adhere this underneath. And I'm going to do this before adhering it to my card so that it's hidden underneath. And so all I need to do is bring in my snail. I'm going to put it all the way down the length of this because I want to make sure that it's got a good stick to it. And then I'm going to use the back side, and I'm kind of centering and lining up with my score line. And then I'm just going to fold this over. So this is just folding over 1/2 inch. And then I can come in and add my regular snail. Again, I'm going to add a little more than normal because it does have that moving piece. And then I'm just going to line it up inside my card. And then I can layer up this panel. Again, it's going to take the same colors that we did on the other side. So the Bird Ballad Designer Series paper. And then the Whisper White that we stamped onto. Okay, now this is the tricky part, and it's not tricky, but you want to make sure you pay attention. What I'm going to do in order to stick this onto the card is I'm going to put my Stampin' Dimensionals on the outside of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and line them up kind of close, but not touching, with the flat side against my cardstock. So they are on the outside. They're not touching this at all because we want that to be able to pull out. But the Stampin' Dimensionals lift it above the card base so there's room to tuck it underneath. And then I'm just going to use my little circles here to cover those up. And so there's my tuck. See how easy that was? It's a really fun card that's just a little bit different. And it's easy. I mean, everybody looks at fun fold cards thinking they're complicated, and they're really not. I do quite a few of them, and I love it. Of course, most of my projects are not complete without a little bit of bling. So I'm going to bring in some glittered enamel dots, and I'm just going to place them randomly around. You can choose to place them wherever you want, but I just added a little bit for accent. And if you wanted, you know, you could decorate up a little more, but there's a very simple, easy, cute card that you can make. Hopefully you have enjoyed today's card and that you give that a try. Like I said, you can do these measurements with any stamp set that's out there, just as long as the images fit within that little thing on the front. And if you need any of the supplies that we used within today's project, I would appreciate it if you would pop on over to my blog and buy them from me. I do appreciate all the support that you guys give me. It helps me create more cards and keep my business going. If you use the host code that's on my screen right there, that will also get you a PDF. I make a monthly PDF, so everybody who orders at least $30 from me will get the monthly PDF that has instructions for 6 different cards. I want to say this month's is like 15 pages long, so it's full of instructions and pictures and the supply list of everything you need to make these cards for yourself. And of course, you also earn celebration rewards. So you have 3 weeks left for that, and I hope you take advantage and you get lots of cool stuff. Thanks for joining me. Bye.